Hello my friends, it's Nina. Welcome back. Today we are painting, and indeed I am going to be trying to follow a Bob Ross painting tutorial. This has been long requested. I am a little nervous, and also I do want to give an unfortunate disclaimer. As you can see, I only have acrylic paints. Hold on, don't click off yet. I don't know why, but I only made the realization this morning that Bob Ross uses oil paint, not acrylic paint. I don't know why it took me until now to figure that out. Oil paint doesn't dry up on you like acrylic paint does, so you're actually able to blend. And if you've seen any of Bob Ross's paintings, they're just blended so well. I do have more paint than this. I actually have an entire box of more acrylic paints, but they have more specific colors. A lot of the colors that Bob Ross used. I should also experiment with oil paint one day, but oh well, I will try my best. I also do know that not everyone has oil paints anyway. Acrylic paint is pretty common and accessible. It's good for beginners. I would consider myself an amateur or just a non-professional painter. I like to do it for fun. So I got all my paints out. We're just going to get started. I am painting this one specific painting from Bob. I was thinking of doing the most viewed video he has on YouTube, but personally, I do like painting skies, as you may know. So I went for Sunset Aglow. I really love sunsets, so that's what I'm going to do. The camera angle is kind of distorting this canvas. It's actually not that big. It is just this small. I do think having a small canvas will be helpful because, as you know, I have acrylic paint. If I'm working on a smaller space, then the paint should not dry as fast. So maybe this will work. Do you like my apron, by the way? I usually wear painting pants, but today I'm just wearing sweatpants. I don't want to get them dirty, so I'm wearing my apron. I'm also wearing a nice blouse. Today is 98 degrees outside. I'm going to collect the paints that he uses. Here we have Bob Ross on my phone.
Welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. I thought today we'd do a painting. It just has a lot of color and one that'll make you feel good inside. So let's start out and have run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. And while they're doing that, let me tell you.
I'll collect all the paints. I'll also list them down somewhere. This video is 25 minutes. This painting will probably take 3 hours. Another thing that Bob Ross likes to do is paint with a layer of liquid white. That's basically how the paint blends really well. If you look at his tutorials, he's just blending away so fast. I don't have liquid white. That is basically paint plus oil. I can't add oil to acrylic paint. So I think what I'm going to do is obviously add a layer of white and then just kind of work really fast on top of the white. This should work. Hopefully. I have finally gathered all the paints. I'm going to put them on this palette, and then I will cover this with a layer of titanium white. It's not liquid white, but it's better than nothing. Also, I think my biggest brush is going to be this. Bob Ross uses a really big brush. We might be here for a while, but hopefully because my canvas is smaller, maybe this brush will be good enough. We have to believe in ourselves. That's what Bob Ross would want. This palette might not be big enough. I used to have a really big palette, but I don't have that anymore. I'm going to find a bigger palette. I had a box and I just ripped some cardboard off of it. I'm just going to use this as my palette. He goes in with the Indian yellow first, so I'm going to use that first. And I'm going to add a coat of white. We're going to make a good layer, not too thick, because the paint can come off when you put other layers of paint on it. And we're going to paint. So don't be shy. We're going to put a lot. So if you have liquid white or you're able to make one of your own, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to see how far I can get with just acrylic paint. I've been wanting to follow a Bob Ross painting tutorial for quite a while because I have been requested to do this for years now, so you can see how long I've been procrastinating. But I kept procrastinating because I mean, just following along to something kind of can stress me out, but also Bob is all about not being stressed. He's about just having fun with the painting, being relaxed, experiencing the joy of painting. So that's why I finally decided to do it. The last time I was kind of told what to do with my art was basically probably high school or my one art class in college. Okay, so I'm just going to add a final layer here and there. Okay, so we're going to take a small amount of Indian yellow. We're going to place this here. Little goes a long way. Also, don't mind my eczema. She's been flaring up lately. I'm nervous. But we're going to have fun. We're going to have fun.
Just a very small amount.
Very small amount.
Up here in the sky and just do something like that. That's all there is to it. Just make little crisscross strokes, something like that. Okay, now without cleaning the brush, I'll go right into.
I'm a little stressed. I'm not used to this whole crisscross technique.
A little touch of the bright red.
He's doing so much. Oh my gosh, hold on, hold your horses. Then I'm going to go into yellow ochre. Then I'm going to blend that under the Indian yellow. Oh no. Mr. Bob Ross, sir, how do you make this look so easy? It's like I suddenly forgot how to paint a sky. I've done this so many times, but why is it so hard? The whites under definitely did help. This blend is pretty smooth. And then on top of this, we're going to add the bright red. Here it is so far. Not really much going on, but let's keep going. I'm gonna start here because this is where a lot of the red is. Oh. Blendy blend. You can do it. It got really dry over here. That's okay. I will forgive you. I'm trying to fix it. It also doesn't help that the canvas is smaller than my easel. So this is what I have so far. Not a smooth blend compared to Bob Ross's, but we're going to continue on.
Let's do the rest of the sky. Let's use a lavender color.
Lavender?
Just brush mix it here. I'll use a little phthalo blue, alizarin crimson.
So we're using phthalo blue and crimson.
All right, let's go up in here. I just want to sort of dance this around a little bit. There, just wherever. Sometimes it goes to the red side, sometimes to the blue. It doesn't matter. There we are.
We love that. It doesn't matter. And we're going to dance this around. Okay, so we're going to kind of just it's so dark though. I'm gonna add just the tiniest bit of white. There we go. Kind of let it be fluffy. I know we're going to cover this with clouds, so let's be optimistic.
Let's begin blending these colors together. Just blend them together. There, because the liquid white's under there, you can literally move and blend color.
I do not have liquid white, sir, but I do have water.
Right up in here. It just sort of floats around, has a good time all day.
He went in with a pink color. So I'm going to make a light pink and I'm going to place the clouds wherever I want. So he's basically covering this entire area with clouds. I love that. I will do that as well. I'm just going to cover all this. Here are Bob Ross's clouds. Here are mine over there. I'm going to add some colors into the middle like he's doing.
Floaters around in here, just enough to break it up wherever you make the decision. All right.
How did he do that? He just magically made some clouds with magic. Something that he's doing is that he's just going for it, not really stressing about the placement. So I think I'm gonna try that as well. I'm not gonna stress about this. I'm just gonna go for it. Not even think about what I'm doing, just going for it. I added a little wispies to the top. I think that helped a little bit. I feel like this painting will look good from very, 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 very far away.
All right, let's do this. Let's put a nice dark cloud in here.
Ah! Okay, a dark
sparkle
cloud. Gonna sparkle. We're gonna make a cloud that sparkles. A dark cloud will definitely be a nice contrast. So it's going to be around this area, kind of stippling it on. Let's bring you up a tiny bit. Okay, good. Nice. This is working.
Just take that color that you picked up and use it. Let these things happen. Let them happen.
I'm trying, Bob.
Very lightly.
I'm trying to make them happen. I'm just using water and then paper towel to kind of blend it together, kind of like a beauty blender in makeup.
We can just take pure titanium white, and I'm just going to use the knife. You can take your finger or you can take a brush, but I want to pour some white paint right into there.
I don't have any room for titanium white. I'm gonna add the tiniest white spot. I'm not gonna fail Bob Ross. I'm going to try to do my best. I'm gonna add the tiniest bit of titanium white to here, I guess. I literally can't do much than this. Dry it out and then blend it into the surrounding paint. Maybe I'll add a bit of yellow to this, because why not? I'm slowly blending it to the pink, but since the pink's all dry, I'm just adding a tiny bit of clear water. Then I can figure out how to mix with each other.
Take a little bit of that nice lavender color. Maybe the indication of just a happy cloud that lives right here.
Okay, got you.
Very soft.
Got you, sir.
I want this cloud to look like it's in front of that.
In front of this. So I'm going to move on to the next part, which is the bottom, which is the landscape scenery. We've got mountains and trees. So now we're going to cover this entire area with lavender. We keep needing lavender.
Nice lavender color down here.
This is kind of like the water reflection. Going back in with the lavender, luckily we have a lot left. It's going to be kind of pale over here. I'm gonna have to add white for that, right about there. I'm gonna start on the dark side over here. There we go. And then we're going to just back and forth, back and forth. Maybe add some water. There we go. Back and forth, back and forth. All the way over here. So I have my first layer of the bottom here, blending some white to the purple. We don't want it to be completely white. And then blendy blend into the water. Extend it out here. I'm going to move on to the mountain. There's a mountain in the middle of the painting. The problem is he's using a palette knife, which I also don't have, but if I did have it, it would probably make this a lot easier. That's okay. A lot of people don't have palette knives, and so I'm going to just do this with a brush. In the camera, actually, from where I'm sitting, it's not bad, actually. What matters is thinking about the effort you put into this. Although after this, I never want to hear the word lavender again. This is going to be a dark purple again, and the mountain's just gonna kind of sit right there, right here. Every time you're about to get mad at yourself, just breathe in and breathe out. This is supposed to be fun. So I'm making that little mountain in the center. You probably can't see it, but I'll insert a picture. I do not have a palette knife, so I'm going to just have to make a shape, which is doable. Kind of off center a little bit, make it a little more interesting. If you use a flat tip brush, it's kind of like a palette knife. And then blendy blend downward. So this mountain is actually darker than I should have made it. So I think I'm going to make this the dark mountain that he is painting right now. Kind of continue on there because I'm running out of space anyway. So I'm going to make a pale mountain in the back. Pale mountain in the back. I already have some pale periwinkle purple here. I'm going to just paint a tiny mountain in the back. There we go. And there is a faded mountain in the back. I started the dark mountain and I'm just going to keep continuing on. We have our dark mountain. Oh wow, she's looking kind of lovely.
Just put a little bit of highlight. I use a little
highlight.
Bright red, a little white.
Okay.
Right across there.
Oh, ooh. I don't have a palette knife. That's going to be kind of hard. I can paint that. That looks really pretty. He painted one side of each little peak. Honestly, we don't need that much. It's going to be more of a white. I'm gonna start with the big peak. Oh, if I barely hold on to it, it naturally just kind of falls onto the mountain. So we're gonna bring it down, kind of let it fall. Yes, it's working. There's also kind of a little low shape here. Loose down, loose down. They look 3D. He says that there's a low hill. I mean, I still have some dark paint left if I just kind of make more of it. I just thinned out my dark paint a little bit and I'm just gonna see what it looks like. Bring it down. I'm gonna add a tiny little footy hill. I'm just gonna add literal almost black just across the mountains to kind of cover up this little patchy area. I fixed the hill. Now I'm going to line it with some white. Don't forget to test it out. Yes, love that. And then we're gonna go for it. It's gonna kind of end somewhere over here.
Let's have some fun. You know me. I like trees.
Not yet, Bob, not yet. I like trees too. There's our reflection. I've got my tiny fan brush and we're going to do this. We're finally going to kind of hide this area. I kind of messed up this area with the clouds, but we can cover it up with trees. So here we go. I'm going to just kind of take the paint from this brush. So first he makes a line, then he kind of does like a downwards thing. And then the tree kind of extends down to here, and then we're going to make another area right here. I'll put one over here. Add a tree trunk here. Okay, we've got 4 trees. We've got the tree trunks. Now we're going to have some fun. How did he do it?
Very dark. And that dark contrast is gorgeous against the sky.
So we're going on one point and then just going at an angle like that. So here we go. Really, it's just have fun with it. I'm going to make reflections now. Basically, I just thinned out the paint a little bit with water. Just the tiniest bit, of course. This isn't watercolor, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm going to bring this all the way down just like what he did, just like that. It can be rough. Okay, I'm going to add some dark paint under the trees to make it look like land. The reflections kind of pale in color in comparison. Now we're making a giant tree here. Small tree. Trees everywhere. He is making land. so we can cover up more of our mess. Bring it down, drag, drag, drag. We're going to just fill this up, fill that up. Now we're going to make a highlight color because everything just looks like one black color. Gonna clean my brush again. We're basically making like a green color. We don't really have much of a green color going on, so this is a nice pop of color. Black too, okay. Let's make a color. Nice bright color. And then what, Bob?
Some little highlights. Same thing over here.
Wow, he's just going for it. Kind of like here. Yes, there she is. And same thing over here. Just stippling it on. Kind of looks like moss. Then we're going to add white. Which brush do I use for that? Just a flat tip brush. We're going to add this white just as a line to divide the island with the water. Now I'm just going to clean my fan brush. We're almost there. We're going to take the green and just make little highlights here and there on the tree. Not too much or else the entire tree is going to be green. Just a little bit. Anything else, Bob? He added a little path. I'm going to take my flat tip brush again, take my white. He added a little path going this way. We made a little path and then we're going to fill it up with green by just fanning it through. And I think we are done. Let me take a look at it for a second. Wow! Yes! Oh! This was probably the most difficult thing I've ever done. I can finally say that I followed a Bob Ross painting tutorial. This was so much harder than I expected. I think if anyone wants to try this out, definitely go for oil paint. His technique is for sure for oil painting. Even if you think you can do it with acrylic paint, you can, but it's going to take you 5 hours. Honestly though, I'm not mad at it and I actually kind of like it. I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. I honestly did not see an end to this. I almost gave up, but take it from me, if it looks like a bunch of blobs, just keep going. Anything you do, any step you take, it always leads to something else. I finished. I just want to take a closer look at it. Oh, you are pretty. Ain't she pretty? She's so cute. I probably had dreams that looked like this. This really was quite the challenge, but I think if you have the right materials or if you have the will and the wrong materials, then you should definitely try this out. Look at that. You get a product in the end. I hope you enjoyed watching me suffer, have fun. Bob Ross's videos are so relaxing to watch and he was just a legend and he still is. Will I follow another tutorial in the future? Probably not. But if I'm ever up for a challenge again, then mayhaps. But that is going to be it for this painting with Nina and this is where I sign off. Let's bring it in as always for a virtual hug. Remember to have fun, take care of yourself, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye, my friends!